Hello, very quick video on a cheap Gunsmith punch set. Someone on the AGF forums pointed these out a couple of weeks ago. I got this one off of eBay for £11.99, so that was 12 quid. And it is the Horozdi Professional Tools. Never heard of them. I presume it's some sort of Chinese factory that makes them. And it's a set of Gunsmith punches. Comes in sort of ABS hard case. I'll just show you the sizes that it's got. So it's got 8-piece roll pin punch, and you see the sizes there. It's got a 4-piece hollow end starter punch set, and you got the sizes there. And it's got a 4-piece steel punches with the size 2 of each there, and then you got 2-piece plastic punches. They're black plastic. I'll show you them. And then you got one hammer with 4 different heads. You've got a steel head, a brass head, a plastic head, and a rubber head. And then there's one pin alignment tool, which is basically this sort of tweezers like thing. I'll show you them. So yeah, as I say, it comes in its own case. I did measure the case before, and it's 9 inches wide, which is 225mm. It's 6 inches deep, which is 150mm, and it's 2 inches thick, which is 50mm. So it's actually quite small. You could easily get that in a rucksack, in a range bag, in a sort of tool bag or whatever. It unclips, so you have got clips that keeps it from opening, and everything's clipped inside, apart from these 2 heads that go in there. They're different heads, so you've got 2 heads on the hammer there, and you've got 2 other heads there. Everything else does sort of clip in nice and firmly. So the hammer has got a decent weight to it, I have to say. Although it's quite small, it has got a decent weight, and these just unscrew. And when you screw them in, they do sort of lock up nice and tight, so they're not going to come loose. So you've got brass, you've got sort of ABS plastic, you've got steel, if I can get it out, steel, and you've got black rubber. So you've got 4 different head types for knocking pins out. And then, yeah, as per the description, you've got these brass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 brass punches, 2 plastic punches. So you've got sort of a thin one and a thick one. And you've got 4 steel punches, but they're only 2 different sizes, so you've got 2 of each. And then you've got these, what they're calling starter. They're calling hollow end starter punch, which are like sort of domed inwards. So if I show you that, I don't know if you can see that. So the end, rather than being flat, is sort of dished inwards. And you've got 4 different sizes for those. The brass ones, and again, they've got a decent weight to them. They've got knurled bodies, so you get a good grip on them. Yeah, and these are sort of tweezers, so they're basically when you're reinserting the pins back into a gun, back into a pivot, a cocking arm or whatever. So the theory is you hold the pin with that, and then you tap it in. Otherwise, you'd be holding it, and the danger is you can hit your fingers. So with this, you're just getting your fingers out of the way, which is a nice touch. These are pretty cheap and flimsy plastic. I don't think they'll last long, but it was a nice thought to include them. So there you go. I thought it was really good value. You can get these out of Temu, and I think you can get them on AliExpress. I found them on eBay, so if you just search for Gunsmith punch set, I'm sure you'll get loads come up. This seemed to be good quality, and you're getting quite a lot of punches, and I like the hammer. The fact you've got 4 different heads on the hammer I thought was quite good. Yeah, for 12 quid. So, and that included postage. So I thought it was quite a good deal. Anyway, so there you go. That's the cheap Gunsmith punch set. I thought it was good value for money. I'm obviously I'm not associated with the company or anything. No one's paying me. I'll pay for these out of my own money. So yeah, if you're looking for some cheap hole punches for your gunsmithing kit, there you go. Cheers. Bye.